Disgaea 7 just made its release on the Switch 2. And to commemorate this occasion, I thought, why not review the entire series? From the very first iconic Disgaea, through the spin-offs, even the discontinued experiments, all the way to today's, or even to the future's chaos. Prinny Squad, dude! Hey everyone, not a pro gamer here. Everything started back in 2003 with the release of Disgaea Hour of Darkness on PlayStation 2. In Japan, it was called Makai Senki Disgaea, or Netherworld Battle Chronicle. That alone should tell you how over the top things were going to get. The game tells the story about Prince Laharl, who wakes up from a 2-year nap, finds out his dad's dead, and decides to reclaim the throne of the Netherworld. Along the way, he gets stuck with Flawn, an angel in training obsessed with love, and Etna, his, extremely questionable vassal. The mix of dark comedy, fourth wall breaking humor, and ridiculous anime antics became the Disgaea trademark. Like and subscribe, just a second for you, but maybe the algorithm will finally show me the mercy. What made Disgaea different wasn't just the characters, but the sheer insanity of its mechanics. Tactical RPGs like Final Fantasy Tactics were already around, but Disgaea said, what if we let you level up to 9,999? What if your sword has a dungeon inside it? What if you can literally throw enemies or your allies across the map? And yes, they explode if they're Prinnies, dude. The grind was the point. The game gave you endless replayability through systems like the item world, reincarnation, and absurd damage numbers that quickly went from 3 digits to, well, 13 digits. And here's where we sprinkle in a grain of salt. Disgaea hasn't really changed much since 2003. Every new entry brings a new protagonist, a couple of extra classes, maybe one flashy gimmick and slightly shinier graphics. But the core? Exactly the same. You stack your weird army of misfits, fight towards some ridiculous goal, and surprise, old characters like Laharl, especially gender-bent Laharl, and Etna eventually show up, sometimes even locked behind DLC. So what's the grand evolution across 20 years? Well, by the time we got to Disgaea 6, Nippon Ichi introduced auto battle, auto repeat, and the ability to speed animations up to 32x. That means you can now let the game grind itself while you watch Netflix. Some fans hated it, others cheered, but either way, that's the big innovation. And that's it. 6 sequels later, you're still stacking dudes and throwing Prinnies. The series' one real gameplay revolution is that the grind grinds itself. Truly, the future is now, dude. Story-wise, each game is set in a different netherworld with a brand new cast. You've got Adele and Rosalind in 2, Mao the mad scientist in 3, vampire reformist Valvatores in 4, revenge-fueled Killia in 5, zombie protagonist Zed in 6, and now Fuji and Perillica in 7. The tone is always the same, blend of parody, melodrama, and meta-humor. Sure, the plots escalate into save-the-universe levels of drama, but you'll never escape the fact that your army is made up of Prinnies, cats, magical girls, and literal sentient fists. It's chaos, but it's Disgaea chaos. Of course, Nippon Ichi couldn't just stick to the numbered entries. Oh no, dude. The Prinnies even got their own games. Prinny, Can I Really Be the Hero? And Prinny 2, Dawn of Operation Panties, dude. Yes, that's the real title. Both were side-scrolling platformers where you, the disposable penguin slaves, get tossed into battle. Spoiler, you die. A lot. But hey, at least they were memorable. Successful? Not really. But they were so bizarre that they're still kind of beloved in that why does this even exist way. And then came the inevitable. A mobile gacha game. Disgaea RPG. A free-to-play grind machine that tried to bring the endless leveling and chaos of the series onto your phone. It launched, it stumbled, it got shut down in the West after a short run, and now survives only in Japan. Which is ironic because considering amount of random in the series, Disgaea was a gacha long before it became a mainstream, but without microtransactions. And it doesn't matter what numbers on the box, what spin-off, what timeline, who always shows up, you got it right. Laharl and Etna, and other guys from previously released titles, sometimes as story characters, sometimes as DLC, sometimes just to wink at you from the sidelines. Because Nippon Ichi knows exactly what they're doing. You'll pay for Laharl's smug face and Etna's sarcastic commentary, dude. And if that's not enough, they'll just keep selling you Disgaea 1 again, and again, and again. It's been remade, re-released, and ported onto basically every platform in existence. I'm convinced it runs on microwaves at this point. If there's a screen, you can probably play Disgaea 1 on it. Because apparently, we can never stop buying Disgaea 1. Disgaea is one of those series that should have disappeared after one quirky PS2 release, but instead, it carved itself a permanent place in gaming history. By now, it's sold over 5 million copies worldwide. Not blockbuster numbers, but impressive for a tactical RPG about penguins that explode when thrown, dude. So, why did it last this long? Part of it is the game system. No other tactical RPG went this hard on letting players break the numbers. Level 9,999, reincarnation loops, stats that go into scientific notation, swords with entire dungeons inside them. It gave min-maxers their dream playground. And if you didn't care about optimization, you still got to laugh while stacking your party into a totem pole and yeeting them across the battlefield. Another reason is the characters. They're sarcastic, over-the-top, and weirdly relatable. Laharl's arrogance, Etna's scheming, Flone's obsession with love, they all became instantly memorable. Later games followed the same pattern. Eccentric main characters wrapped up in ridiculous netherworld politics, balancing comedy with the occasional emotional gut punch. You never forget your first Disgaea cast, and that attachment carries forward. Then there's fan loyalty. Nippon Ichi never tried to make Disgaea a mainstream juggernaut like Final Fantasy or Fire Emblem. Instead, they embraced the niche. Every new entry offers just enough new content to keep things fresh. A new protagonist, new classes, a gimmick or two, but never so much that it risks alienating the core formula. Basically, same dish, slightly different seasoning. It's comfort food for strategy fans. And yes, part of its cult status comes from how shamelessly Nippon Ichi reuses its assets. That's not changing. Fast forward another 20 years, and we'll probably see Disgaea 22. New protagonist, new quirky sidekick, same battle stacking, same crazy damage numbers spilling across the screen. The item world still holding us hostage, and every character from previous games repackaged as DLC. Maybe they'll add new costumes, maybe they'll continue developing those 3D battle models. Maybe they'll let you swipe to skip entire dungeons in the name of quality of life. But at its core, it'll still be the same old Disgaea, dude. Doesn't matter if it's 2003, 2025, or 2045. The netherworld never changes. So when you put it all together, the absurd grind system, the eccentric characters, the loyal fan base, and a developer who knows exactly how to milk nostalgia, you get a series that turned from a strange little RPG into a cult classic. It's no big deal for you, but it really means a lot to me. Like and subscribe. So after 20 years of grinding, reincarnating, and throwing penguins, we finally arrived at Disgaea 7. Same formula, same chaos, same old characters popping up when Nippon Ichi feels like it. Now just neatly packaged for the Nintendo Switch 2 family. Welcome, Disgaea 7. You're exactly like all the others. And that's exactly why we keep buying it, dude.